Hello, good people of the interwebs. Amazingly and surprisingly enough, this is not one of my usual videos in which I tell you about Let's Plays and things that are happening in my life, but this one I figure I should talk about because, well, everybody's going to share their thoughts about what's been going on, so I'm going to share my thoughts. Not quite long ago, one of Channel Awesome's finest has passed away. He goes by the name of JewWario. I'm not going to go by his real name, because I'm pretty sure everybody by this time knows his real name. It's sad to think that when you have this, when you have, you know, a fan base, when you become an online personality and you have a really good fan base because you're well liked and, you know, the content you fire out is pretty good. Sad to think that when you just about had everything going your way, when you're at the pinnacle of your success, something happens and it just cuts your life down to nothing. I will say this, and please understand where I'm coming from. You have to understand where I'm coming from before you say, oh, you shouldn't say this. First off, I feel it's important for me to say this. I respect a person by the way they lived, not how they died. Even though I did not know this person, I have heard good things about him. Another thing you have to understand is that suicide is never the way to go. Yes, there are times you can be sad or depressed, but suicide is never the way to go. I cannot respect anybody who would just off their life like that instead of just, you know, you have problems, you talk it out with your friends and your family. That's what you do. You don't decide it's the end of the world because of one little thing. One little thing that made you a success. It's not the end of the world. You can still become a success in other areas of your life, if not by one little thing you've done. Hell, you can actually expand on that success instead of just, you know, losing all sense of reality and just saying it's not worth living anymore if this one little thing is shut down. I will admit to this. I love doing what I love. I love playing video games. I love making videos about video games. I enjoy trying to share what knowledge I have about video games and whatnot. But I don't see myself, you know, if something should happen to my channel, well, God forbid. But if something did happen, I'm not going to off myself. I'm not going to kill myself just because this one channel is my life. It's my I mean, pretty much, you know. It would be terrible if something did happen to my channel. But even more so, if something were to happen to me, like I'd shoot myself in the head because I couldn't deal with life anymore, I'm pretty sure that no one could forgive me for doing that. because I have too much integrity and dignity for having life and living it. I mean, it's sad that I've went through suicide before. I mean, you know, I went through being depressed and having suicidal thoughts. It's a terrible thing. But then again, what's even worse is being dead. That's even a worse thing. It's sad that JewWario went out like that, because he was a good guy. He was a good guy. He was into Toko. He was into video games. Fans loved him. He had good content. It's sad to think that, you know, you're gonna take your life out just like that. You're gonna snuff out your own life, your own flame of life. You're gonna snuff out your own flame of life just because one little thing set you off and you couldn't deal with it. That's a sad thing. That's really a sad thing. So, in that regard, I could not respect somebody who just off their life like that. I really couldn't. Because if you don't have respect for living, then really you don't have any respect for, you don't really have respect for yourself, because you should be thanking God every day that you live, that you're still here, you're still doing something, whether it's online or whether it's reality, because we're all living reality. I mean, to me, I live every day to the fullest. Whether I do something very little, very big, it doesn't matter. Whether I'm recording something or I'm not recording something. Whether I'm taking my time with things and whatnot. I thank God for what I do and the stuff that I do. I thank God that, you know, I have friends I talk to on a daily basis. That whether they're doing something or, you know, whether they're doing something or they're not, whether they are, you know, whether they're working on something or they're not working on something. Whether we come together on Vindictus or we're doing a different game or whatever, we're around this one area of the internet and we talk to each other. Even in the roughest of times, we all talk to each other. I mean, it's just that simple. No person should be left alone. I've seen that too much in my life to see that happen. It's a terrible thing to die alone. It's an even worse thing to die without actually living, without actually seeing the sunlight and, you know, living every day to the fullest. That's the real tragic thing right there. So honestly, my thoughts about this whole situation, I feel sad about it, but at the same time, I have to say, respect life and respect yourself. I mean, nobody's alone in this world. Everybody has somebody to turn to, whether it's one or more. We're all not alone in this world. That's something to think about. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I have said my piece. And to JewWario, who's up there under under that white sky. We'll see you on the other side, brother. Take care, God bless, and of course, as always, Tenkai Muso. Have a good rest of the night, ladies and gentlemen.